Welcome back to Book Break. We have got a brand new original tag for you today. We would love for you to play along and send us your answers, whether you write them in the comments below or make your own video or Instagram post and send us the link. We would love to see them. We were inspired to make this tag because we are coming up to springtime. The warmer weather is upon us. We have been looking outside the window a lot, and so we are bringing you the Take It Outside book tag. Okay, maybe not today. So this whole tag is themed around expressions with the word outside in, starting with go outside. So name a book that you read outside. I have got here The House Without Windows by Barbara Newhall Follett. This is a very strange little book that was written by Barbara Newhall Follett when she was just 12 years old, and it's about a young girl who runs away from home to live in nature. So it's very much set in the great outdoors. I loved reading this one over the summer, one day, outside in the sun the whole time. It's very, very quirky and great fun. And there's also a whole mystery surrounding the author, which I really recommend you research after you've read the book as well, because it is fascinating. Next, The Outside World. Talk about a book set in nature. So I'm actually going to talk about a book that I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited to because it's been so buzzed about. This is the new book from the Yorkshire shepherdess, Amanda Owen, Tales from the Farm. Amanda Owen is the star of the really popular TV show Our Yorkshire Farm, which shows her life with her husband and 9 children living on a farm, and they have so many amazing adventures. And this book, Tales from the Farm, is a collection of some of her columns that she's been writing, so we get loads of little snapshots of her life, including a lot of insight into how lockdown affected the farm. I'm, in general, I would say an indoorsy girl, but Amanda Owen does make me tempted to uproot and move to a farm in Yorkshire. Number 3 is Think Outside the Box. Talk about a book outside your comfort zone. So I am currently working my way through Stories of Your Life and Others by Ted Chiang. This is a collection of short stories that are all speculative science fiction, very much outside my comfort zone. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but the writing in these books is just so magnetic. One of the stories in here, which is called Story of Your Life, is actually the story that inspired the movie Arrival. So I'd seen that movie first and then was inspired to give this a go. I do have to concentrate quite hard reading these because, as I said, it's very much outside my comfort zone, but it's been really worth it. Outside Chance. Talk about a book that you didn't think you would like, but you did. So I'm actually going to name here one of my favourite books, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Obviously this book has been so praised, so I knew it would be amazing, but I was worried that I wouldn't personally like it because I'd heard it was very, very sad. And it is very sad, I won't sugarcoat that, but I thought this book was incredible. For me, it was so beautiful, it was so moving that all of the sadness was worth it. It added up to something amazing. There's a quote on the back which is actually so accurate, because another worry I had about this book was how long it is, but there's a quote from the Times saying, "It's not often that you read a book of this length and find yourself thinking, I wish it was longer." But you do! It's so true. With this book, I wasn't ready to step out of this world and leave these characters behind. On the Outside Looking In. Talk about a book about a culture that's very different from your own. And a book that I read with an almost unrecognisable culture was The Glove Maker by Anne Weisgarber. This book was fascinating. This book is set in Utah in 1888 in a strict, small Mormon community, which is really something that I knew nothing about. So I feel like I learned so much from this book while being carried through with this incredibly tense page-turning story. To fully understand quite how tense and claustrophobic this book was, I had to really put myself into the mind of these characters who live in a way so different to the world that I know, and that was a really fun experience. Outside Lane. Talk about a book you read really fast. So I have got here my proof copy of The Office of Historical Corrections by Danielle Evans, but the final cover looks like this. This book was incredible, already one of my favourites of the year. It's a short story collection where all of the stories are on the theme of history. Who gets to decide which history is recorded? How can we rewrite history? And the ways in which that can be amazing or terrible. This was simultaneously a book that I wanted to savour and read slowly so that I could take everything in, but I just couldn't put it down. So I ended up reading it so quickly because I just didn't take any breaks, and now I'm ready to go back and read it all over again. Next, one of my favourite quotes, "Outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend." Inside of a Dog, It's Too Dark to Read. Talk about your favourite pet from a book. So my favourite, if I'm thinking nostalgically, has to be Kiki the parrot from Enid Blyton's Adventure series. The Castle of Adventure specifically was one of my favourite books when I was growing up, and Kiki the parrot is such a great character in that book. She has so many hilarious phrases that she knows how to say, and they just always crop up at the perfect times. I remember laughing so much as a child having this book read to me every time Kiki spoke, and it still makes me smile every time I think about her. And I always wanted a parrot because of her. And finally, Take It Outside. Which book would you defend against anyone who didn't like it? And while I was writing these questions, Elle, the other half of the Book Break team, saw that I'd written this question and was like, don't worry, I will never insult the little wooden horse in front of you. And so inspired by that, I realised she's right. That has to be my choice. The Adventures of the Little Wooden Horse by Ursula Morey Williams is a book I would defend against anyone. Once again, this is inspired very much by nostalgia. This is a book that was read to me on repeat when I was growing up, and it's just a delight. But it's so sad. It's about a little wooden horse setting off to make his fortune and raise enough money to bring back to his beloved owner and maker, Uncle Peter, who is a toy maker and is now ill and in need of money. And everything just keeps going wrong for this little horse, but it is so sweet and has a really happy ending, which I can't read without crying. So that was the Take It Outside book tag, and we would really love to hear your answers. So do let us know. We have a whole playlist of Book Break original tags, which I will link here, and we add everyone's video into that who sends us their answers. So do send them along and we'll add you to the playlist, and I'll see you next time.